Another thing I found. Hi, my name is Colin Houlihan. This is my Media and Culture Studies assignment 4. I'll be talking about the immersion first, and then the fast second. Right. So the first thing to say about the media immersion was that how similar it was to everyday life. I figured I tried to immerse myself in the media as much as I could, but I found that my everyday use of media was enough, and that we rely on it a lot anyway. Another thing I found was that the fast, rather than the immersion, showed me more about our use of media and reliance upon media, which was quite interesting. I did my media immersion after my media fast, and one of the things I found that was I was beginning to notice media more. Like even at my desk, straight in front of me, there's media everywhere. I think the main point I'm trying to get across about the media immersion day was that it was just like every other day. I didn't realise how much we use media until after the fast, but it really is everywhere we look and everywhere. Everything we see, everything we hear. Moving on to the media fast, and here we had to abstain from as much media as we could. I think everyone sort of came to the same conclusion, or people I've spoken to, that there's some forms of media, like posters or PowerPoints or anything that we actually have to use every day that we couldn't abstain from. With this in mind, I decided to carry the media fast as well as I could, but there are some points I'll talk about later on which I had to break the fast. I think the first thing to say about it, I'll take you through my day, is that my alarm, first of all, I had to use to get up. I couldn't use, which was annoying. Well, I did use it in the end, but that means I had to break the fast. The second and main ball ache of my day was not being able to put music on straight away, which is normally one of the first things I do. Get up and then put playlists on Spotify or like Magic in the morning or something, and listen to that because it's just nice to have it in the background. Otherwise it's silent. I enjoy it, so that was annoying. Another thing that was quite weird was like the routine of going on Facebook or Twitter to see what everyone's up to in the morning, see if everyone's moaning about something or whatever. And we couldn't do that. I couldn't do that. And it was kind of weird. I felt like disrupted. I wasn't sure what I was supposed to do in the morning, and I couldn't read the paper or anything else like that. So it was kind of just mellowing around, which is a bit weird. After that, I got in the shower, which is normally when I'm listening the most. Then I also noticed things like the shampoo bottle, the writing, or the advertisement. That is another form of media, even if it's just small. And then after that, I got dressed, and even things like pictures on your T-shirt or brands is another form of media that we take for granted every day. But I think it might be a bit more important to me. After that, I went to my lectures, which was annoying because I couldn't listen to any music on the way there or the way back. And even going like little things like going through Barker or something like that, like there's advertisements, posters, music playing, which was interesting to think about again. Once I was actually in the lecture, it's interesting to think about whether the PowerPoint as a media form, and whether we could listen or watch that, and then the lecturer speaking, that could be classed as a form of media. So just doing everything we do every day is media. So it's not that we sort of like hyper use it or saturate ourselves in it. I think possibly media is just we rely upon it. We can't live without it, sort of thing. After lectures, I came back to my room and then was going to study, but couldn't because that's another media form. So didn't really do much. It was just sheer boredom. To be fair, I showered a couple of times and then couldn't really organise to see anyone. Because I didn't know if they were in lectures or not. I couldn't check or text them and be like, what are you up to, sort of thing. So I ended up just sort of speaking to my flatmates that I could run into, going to people's rooms and seeing if they were there, which is weird because it felt like I was knocking for people like I haven't done for like 10 years, like hello, so and so in, which felt a bit weird. So I suppose during the day there was a lot more face-to-face interaction than normal, but less. It's just the organising bit which was harder. Meet people because they if you want literally there next to them or have organised beforehand, you can't get hold of them. So like the time space compression sort of thing that happens with mobile technology and things is I missed quite a lot that day. I think one of the weirdest things about the media fast was the day after, realising how quickly plans can be made and how instantaneous social media and other media forms like texting and stuff, same thing, are. Like people would organise to go out a few hours before they did, and they're just like around, and then like you're not there at the time, you're not getting left behind. So people that haven't got these like media forms or technology forms, I think will be left behind quite easily. Moving on into the evening, when I normally like watch a film with friends or whatever, or maybe play some card games or whatever, or go into the JCR and fuck around for a bit. Like you couldn't really do that because I'd then be like experiencing more media. And it's weird how it sort of feeds through and bleeds into everything we do. Like even now, I've got Twitter and Facebook up in the background as I'm making this video, and like in between making these little clips and stuff, I'm checking out with people and seeing what they're doing. So like I think the instantaneous nature of social media is what I've found most interesting from a media class. Overall then, it was quite interesting to see how media forms our everyday lives, how we interact with it and how we sort of rely upon it. I think it was more challenging than I thought it was going to be, especially the day after. I didn't realise how much I was like, oh, this is like, it's a bit boring, but it's not that bad. Then the next day you realise how much you do need it and how much you miss out if you're not involved with it straight away. So thank you very much for listening. Goodbye.